Donald Trump wasted no time setting the tone for his return to the White House. At his inauguration, he made clear that his second term would double down on the nationalist vision that defined his first presidency, prioritizing U.S. interests above all else, even at the expense of long-standing allies.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
The message signaled a presidency focused on sovereignty, protectionism, and transactional diplomacy, principles that would soon ripple across global capitals. One of the earliest tests of that doctrine came in Trump's renewed focus on trade, particularly with China, warning of what he called unfair practices and ballooning trade deficits. Trump framed economic relations as a zero-sum contest, demanding concessions from Beijing.
I think that we're going to have a very good relationship. All we want is fairness. We just want a level playing field. We don't want to take advantage. We've been having massive deficits with China.
While Trump struck a conciliatory tone, analysts noted familiar threat of tariffs and trade pressure lurking beneath his remarks. But it was Trump's comments on foreign aid, particularly to Africa, that drew sharp criticism. Speaking about South Africa, the president questioned continued U.S. funding, citing unsubstantiated claims of instability and wrongdoing.
South Africa, 60%, 30%, and they've got some bad things going on in South Africa. You know, we're paying them billions of dollars, and we cut the funding because a lot of bad things are happening in South Africa. The fake news ought to be looking at it.
South African officials rejected the claims, while critics warned Trump's rhetoric risked undermining diplomatic ties across the continent. The strain deepened when Trump turned his attention to global forums themselves, questioning South Africa's place in major international groupings and signaling a retreat from multilateral engagement.
South Africa shouldn't even be in the G's anymore, because what's happened there is bad. I'm not going. I told him.
The remarks raised concerns about Washington's commitment to collective global problem solving, as Trump continued to favor bilateral deals over international consensus. Nowhere was Trump's unapologetic approach more evident than in the Middle East. In a proposal that stunned allies and adversaries alike, the president floated the idea of long-term U.S. control over Gaza, framing it as an economic redevelopment project.
I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East, this could be something that could be so bad. This could be so magnificent. I do see a long-term ownership position, and I see it bringing great stability to that part of the Middle East and maybe the entire Middle East. And everybody I've spoken to, this was not a decision made lightly. Everybody I've spoken to loves the idea of the United States owning that piece of land, developing and creating thousands of jobs with something that will be magnificent in a really magnificent area that nobody would know. Nobody can look because all they see is death and destruction and rubble and demolished buildings falling all over.
The proposal drew swift condemnation from Palestinians and international partners, who warned it violated international law and risked further destabilization in the region. After 1 year, Trump's second presidency has reaffirmed a familiar doctrine: skeptical of alliances, confrontational with rivals, and unapologetically nationalists. Supporters say it restores American strength, while critics argue it isolates the United States at a time of global instability. As Trump heads into year 2, the question for the world is whether America first can coexist with an increasingly interconnected and volatile global order. I'm Bakali Pile, SABC News.